Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler every series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, this sounds delicious. That remains to be seen. We'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is definitely the case today. I am, in fact, extra grody today. Grody. And I'm wearing my extra grody work shirt. This is on them, though, because why they gave us a white, like, because, you know, it was just a company thing. They're like, boop-a-doo, here's a shirt. And why they gave us a white shirt, I'll never understand. Like, within my first 2 days of wearing this thing, it was just trashed. But anyway, free shirt. But yeah, so, got off of work a little bit ago. And I was just, you know, tired and worn out and everything, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to hit up Dunkin, right? Because, you know, sometimes you want to hit up Dunkin. I've, in fact, hit up Dunkin so many times and reviewed so much of their stuff. I have an entire playlist just called Dunkin Reviews, so if you're interested in my take on a whole bunch of Dunkin stuff over the years, check out that playlist. And it turned out that they had a new signature latte that sounds delicious. It's boom! It is their new Churro signature latte. And I got it iced because I just wanted an iced one. So can we get a thing for the thing? And then never really, what the hell ever. Ha 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 ha! Sure, man. Let's give it a go. See how it is. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, these paper things on the straws, you could just go like this, and they would just pop on through real easily. And at some point, someone made a decision to make it much harder for some reason. But anyway, let's try out a latte that's supposed to taste like a Mexican treat. I mean, that's a Dunkin' latte. Okay. I don't know, man. I guess a little. Like, I mean, because really, I would imagine all they're basically doing is adding cinnamon to it, because, of course, cinnamon sugar is, you know, pretty famous part of the churro experience. I'm getting a little something extra, but not a lot. And the thing is, they got the whipped cream. I'm guessing it's probably mostly on the whipped cream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over there and I'm going to swirl it all together, because I'd like to try to get, I mean, at least as far as the latte aspect of it is concerned, it's fine. It's a Dunkin' latte with, again, maybe a very slight cinnamon. Very slight cinnamon. But I'm guessing that's because it's mostly on top of the whipped cream instead of being mixed in. That's the assumption I'm going to give it. I like whipped cream on drinks, but I'll be honest, when it comes to ice drinks, it just doesn't make any sense, realistically. Because, like, the ice is going to prevent it from really properly, you know, mixing in, and then, yeah, I don't know. And that's nothing against Dunkin' specifically, that's just, I'll try to get it in there. See if we can't improve the flavor. Yeah. Okay. That does make it a little bit better. But I have to admit, I am disappointed with this one. Like, and here's the thing. Like I said, I reviewed. Yeah, you can taste the cinnamon. Yeah. Thing is, like I said, I've reviewed plenty of Dunkin' stuff over the years. You know, and it's always one of those things where it's like, they're kind of hit or miss when it comes to some of their stuff. Some of their things I've had, I've really enjoyed them, thought they were really good. Some of their other stuff just kind of meh. This is falling more in the meh section. I think it could have worked, but I think that they underestimated, the necessary amount of cinnamon to really kind of... Because, again, I don't think they were being particularly clever with this one. It was just, let's add some cinnamon, maybe a little extra sugar. But, this is a big drink. I feel like you really kind of had to... and I mean, I don't know how they measure it out and stuff like that, but, I just feel like it really kind of needed a proper amount in there for it to really have the desired effect. Because even mixing the, the whipped cream and shit in and everything, yeah, it kind of gives it a little bit more, but, I wouldn't say that it has, a strong cinnamon flavor, that it's particularly churro tasting. It's very meh. It's mostly just a Dunkin latte. Which is fine. It tastes decent enough. It's not too sweet, not too bitter. I mean, Dunkin, for what they do, they're fine. I personally, I'd be lying if I said that I found them to be particularly spectacular when it comes to, their signature drinks. But again, some of them are pretty solid. But I have to admit, it's even with Starbucks, and Starbucks is hit or miss too, but I would say I think that overall Starbucks probably does a better job, again, when it comes to, their signature stuff. And then there's another place that I've been reviewing coffee from, a local spot. I can't think of what the hell it's called off the top of my head. But, they've got signature drinks there too. And, again, I kind of feel like with Dunkin', sometimes I think when they want to put in the effort, they can make it happen. And I feel like sometimes they just kind of cop out. And I feel like this should have been an easy win, but I just don't think it came together properly. But, I mean, it's still a fine drink. Again, it's still just a Dunkin', latte. And it's fine in that regard. It's smooth to the drink, or it's smooth to the taste. Like I said, not overly sweet. I wouldn't say that it is like a dessert drink. I think even if it had more cinnamon, I wouldn't have probably put it in that classification. Because fundamentally, it is just mostly just a Dunkin' latte. It's fine. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No and no. It's maybe if it had had more of the cinnamon flavor, if it, felt more like that churro experience. Because, I mean, look, I'm not expecting a 1-to-1, obviously. But I do feel like, you call it a fucking churro latte. It's well, okay, there are certain expectations, and the minimum requirement really should be, a strong cinnamon flavor. And I just feel like it's just, and that might, to be fair, that might vary location to location. But I kind of feel like, again, even if this had been put together, with more cinnamon, I don't know that it wouldn't have been particularly interesting or inventive. So I think even in the penultimate version of this, it just would have been a latte with some cinnamon in it. And realistically, I could do that. I could just go into my house and get some cinnamon and be like, cinnamon! And then, boom, I just made a Dunkin' Donuts drink. So, for me, I definitely wouldn't get it again, because it would be a waste, in my opinion. And if I'm recommending it, I'm not, because, again, your experience might vary, depending on how it's, created, where you go, you might get a better result. But, again, I just don't think even at its best, it really would be anything all that great. I think it's one of those things where I think Dunkin' absolutely has their place when it comes to, their drinks and their food model and stuff. And I hit Dunkin' fairly regularly. But, again, it is hit or miss. And I think if you're fortunate, you find one of those things that works really well. And if you're lucky, they'll keep it on the menu for a while and you can enjoy it. But then there's kind of all the filler in between. This, for me, is a filler drink. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly actual churro-tastic rest of your life. Churros are good, man. I haven't had a proper churro in I don't know how long. I should go, maybe I'll go get Mexican food later on. I kind of had something in my head that I was like, maybe I'll do that. But it's like, well, we'll see. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we, have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal opinion on churros? Are you a fan? Is it something that you hit up regularly? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, and it's just like, I don't know, even like the Mexican restaurants around me, and there's a lot. Like, I have a really, really nice setup when it comes to Mexican food around me. I don't know that, like, they typically offer churros even as a dessert, you like, maybe some of them. But it's like, yeah, man, I mean, churros are fucking great, but you got to get them done properly, obviously. But yeah, what's your personal take on it? Do you have any favorite Mexican food dishes? Hell, hit me up in the comments about that stuff, because, like, I do not profess to be anything close to an expert when it comes to Mexican food. It's like I do the basic stuff like any white suburban guy, and I'll certainly try other stuff, but it's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Look at me! Look how pasty I am. So pasty. But anyway, yeah, have yourself some tasty food, potentially of the Mexican variety, or whatever works for you. Bye!